I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Selectmen for December 9th, 2019 to be open, and ask you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start off with roll call.
Mark Aggie.
Kevin Cunningham. And Kathy has a issue with health. Family members so she wouldn't be here tonight. Item number C, approved minutes from the November 25th, 2019 meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve the minutes from the November 25th, 2019.
I have a second to that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And item D, which is public comment. Any public comment tonight? Any questions, issues?
I'd like to, Sean Peterson, present you his copy for this. My interest in the building committee.
Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, what's your name and
Scott Gardner, 407 Stockwood Road.
thank you.
Just here tonight, basically representing Barbie, who's an applicant for the position of town clerk. And I just wanted to pass along her regrets that she can't be here tonight. She's a scheduled work conflict, so thank you for the consideration of her application.
Anyone else?
Down the road, 122 Goshen Road. When we get to the charter revision thing, another thing maybe we should think about adding would be a 5-person board of selectmen instead of 3.
Okay.
That's all.
Anybody else?
Hi, Virginia, San Diego. I think as you know, Kevin, I sent you a letter with my interest in the charter revision.
I received it. Thank you very much.
You.
Anybody else? And again, as we go through each items, it's okay to actually raise your hand if you wanted to have an objection with something going on. Okay? And we have item E, number 1, appointment of town attorney. I'm going to ask if you would make a motion to table. Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to table appointing town attorney at this time.
And I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I promise you we're working on it, and hopefully we'll get it completed by the next meeting. Item F, new business. Consider an act on the tax refunds from the tax collector totaling $521.13 as follows. Financial Survey Trust, $521.13. Entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I will second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 2, consider an act on authorizing resolution for Homeland Securities. Annually, the Homeland Securities asks for a designee to be appointed for that position, so that there's a point of contact from the Homeland Securities. And there's a resolution in our packet talking about first selectman being the person for the designation of that position. So if you would entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution for Homeland Securities.
I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item number 3. Item 3, consider an act on Plainfield tolls resolution. We have been talking about tolls resolution for a long time. A lot of the towns have already talked about it. just as a generic conversation piece, it was brought to legislation on multiple times. They keep changing, going back and forth about where they like to have the tolls. One of the things they talked about is having a toll back in Plainfield, where we used to have a toll booth. It's really a difficult position for the town to be in, but it's, in my opinion, appropriate to say that they're not really interested in having that because of the offset that it does. If you have a toll position up on Route 12 where it was, I mean, up on 305, people will utilize Route 12 to get around it, and it impacts greatly the traffic area before. And I remember, I don't know, many years ago when the tolls were up, how that was, people were figuring a way around it, and it really impacted Plainfield. So what I've put together, and you have access to it if you want to read through it afterwards, but basically it's just a resolution stating that the Town of Plainfield Selectmen believe that the implementation of the tolls collection highway would result in increased traffic on secondary roads in the Town of Plainfield, with motorists attempting to bypass tolls, and particularly town roads. Whereas the Board of Selectmen further believes that increased traffic on secondary roads would affect the quality of life of Plainfield residents in numerous ways, including a dramatic increase in heavy-duty commercial vehicles and tractor-trailer trucks' presence, encroaching on our scenic New England community, negatively impacting the town's character and atmosphere, a dramatic increase in traffic by heavy-duty commercial vehicles, subjecting streets to increased damage, maintenance, and repair costs, resulting in increased tax burden, crowding of the secondary roads and increasing traffic accidents and disruption of the pedestrian enjoyment in and around the roads affected, traffic congestion from increased vehicle and accidents, delaying the response time to emergency personnel, causing significant safety concerns, and compromising the standard of safety care and increasing the cost of the public safety to the taxpayers of the Town of Plainfield. We would discourage retail. It would also discourage retail establishments and shopping, putting our valued local businesses in a competitive disadvantage, and increasing the cost of convenience to residents. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town of Plainfield Board of Selectmen does hereby declare that its opposition to the implementation of tolls on state highways within the Town of Plainfield's jurisdiction, and being it further resolved that the Plainfield Board of Selectmen does hereby submit this resolution to the Governor of the State of Connecticut and the Connecticut State Legislature on the 9th day of December 2019. Entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, there's item number 5, which says discussing the option to create a Town of Plainfield 2020. Oh, I'm sorry.
On 4.
4. Consider an act on thank you. Consider an act on adding a resident to the Ethics Commission. So we had a letter that was sent into the Town of Plainfield for, and thank you, by the way, for everybody that's volunteering to be on boards. We had one person who is, and for a long time, I guess that's the only person that's actually applied to the Ethics Commission, because we are short. So we had one letter asking for their interest in the current vacancy in the Ethics Commission, and that would be Donna Johnson. So at this time,
I have a question.
sure.
And this is a Democrat position that has to be filled.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we thought before.
We thought before that it was Republican. It was wrong on the website for a long time. So it is a Democrat position. So we verified that with the town clerk. So at this point, there's only one Democrat. Unless anybody else from the Democratic Town Committee has any other, no. We've been trying. We really have been trying. So I appreciate the fact that someone's actually come forward.
Just point of order, when was it noticed that it was a Democrat and not a Republican vacancy?
After we received the letter, we actually verified what it was, because I thought it was the other way around. But it was verified through the town clerk that that's what they were looking for.
Because we were not aware, because I certainly would have reviewed it. So, just for the record.
Okay, thank you. So what is your pleasure?
Well, in light of that, can we table it?
I think it would be appropriate to table it and allow
So
the
they have a
Democratic Town
chance.
Committee an opportunity to ask within.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to table this
I would second,
appointment to the Ethics Commission.
I would second that. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Would you be able to work within the next 80 or so days to try to find out?
Yes,
Thank you.
we have a scheduled meeting on January 8th.
All right, thank you very much.
Yep, so I'll send a notice out and we will
All right.
have interest prior to that.
Okay. Now on to item number 5. We're going to discuss the option to create a Town of Plainfield 2020 Census Complete Count Committee. So if you look in your packet, you'll see that there's a large Census 2020 Complete Count Committee. I was visited by the Lieutenant Governor and Vice Lewis, who came to the office just before Thanksgiving, and she was talking about how the importance of having this Complete Count Committee through a cross-section of types of individuals who want to volunteer for it. The issue that I would see that is important here is the fact that if you get a correct census, you then have an understanding of what you can get properly for federal and state grant money. I was actually a census taker in 2010, and that was one of the biggest things that they were pushing for, that was saying that if your numbers are correct, you get a better shot at getting better grant monies. So what we're doing is we're asking people to consider being on this this particular item, which is the Complete Count Committee, and it helps to get a cross-section. I'll get to that page. And I can make the copies available in the town. What the committees are looking at. Here we go. So what their suggested membership would be heads of the public school system, heads of regional associations, council members from prior committees, state representation, a head of a business association, philanthropic organizations and foundations, faith-based organizations, community organizations, either the mayor, first selectman, or designee, and heads of relevant government agencies and departments. The whole intent of the idea of this is actually to put the word out there to say we need to make sure that everybody goes out there for the census and answers the questions. Very simple. The better the numbers we have, the better opportunities we have for grants, both federal and state. So I encourage people to read over this. It's quite a lengthy packet. And I think what I'll try to do is I'll try to put a link on the website so that people have access to it at home, and that way it might make it a little easier. You have any questions?
They encourage online.
Yeah, definitely encourage.
Going with the census and
Yeah.
Is this something we're going to need to do as a board of selectmen?
Eventually,
To make a
to make a committee for it, yes.
Okay.
The Lieutenant Governor also asked me to work on trying to get a census of the Vietnam veterans within the town, because they're looking for in the future to try to do a ceremony for them coming up. There's a certain date in March that they want to work on that. So that's the other thing that she asked for. So we'll talk about that at a future meeting. All right, item number 6. So we do not have the third selectman here, and item number 6, I believe, my opinion is, I think that's important enough. I'd like to have all 3 selectmen to be there to vote on this. This is a very important thing. I don't know what your feeling is on this.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Absolutely. Need a motion to table?
Motion to table. Do you need a motion
I'll
to
make a
table?
motion to table that.
I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's not something we take lightly. I think it's an important position, and it's something that really needs to have all 3 selectmen to vote on it. I will do my best to try to get a special meeting as soon as possible and make sure that's put out on Facebook and also website page. On the other, item G, other number 1, it says Nixle cost gathering. We're going to gather some prior information on that for implementation, because I've been looking at ways to get information out to the public, and this is actually one of them. For the police, they actually use this already as an alert system. But for the town, we don't have any information going out there other than signs, or if you go online. For the other people who would like to have access, I'd like to be able to put something forward. I looked into the Nixle system, I talked to the police chief, and we came up right now with a rough idea about how much it would cost. And for the remainder of the year, we're talking about $800. So I want to verify what the numbers are. But we can do it for the government, because if you're looking for budget meetings, you're looking for when the referendums are, you're looking for other things that are important to the town so we can move forward. That's one of the opportunities, and for that little amount of money, I think it's an excellent input. The other thing we talked about doing was obviously, like the other towns do, if you're interested in going onto a email platform instead, or in addition to. We're looking into that as well, so I really want to get the information out, but we don't have to act on this, but we do have to start looking into the actual numbers. And
Is 800 end of the fiscal year?
I think the annual for us would be 1,500 annually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad deal at all. So what we'll do is we will continue gathering data, and we'll look to talk to the Board of Finance, making sure we know where we're going to be accessing the money from, and we'll bring it forward to the Board of Finance when if and when we decide to go forward. So I'd ask again if there's any other comments or questions or concerns. Yes,
I just wanted to make sure that you received the letter I sent you regarding the town clerk.
absolutely. Thank you very much. Just for those who didn't know, the Democratic Town Committee had sent a letter forward so that we understood their opinion about the town clerk position. And so we will actually read through that at the next meeting. Thank you very much for that.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? That entertain a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second that, all in favor say aye. Aye. And that is it.